In Python, working with files is a core skill. We need to save text, read configurations, or analyze datasets. The key tool is the open function. When we open a file, we also need to tell Python the mode. In other words, what we want to do with the file. The most common modes are the write mode, read mode, and append mode. In the first one, in the write mode, we create a new file or overwrite an existing one. In the second one, in the read mode, we open a file to read its contents. And in the third one, append mode, we add new content to the end of a file. So to make file handling safer, we use the with statement, which automatically closes the file when we are done. Let's see this in action. First, we will create a file called example.txt and write 3 lines of text into it. Notice the W that we have in this code, which means that we are in write mode. If the file doesn't exist, Python will create it. If the file already exists, Python will overwrite it, deleting its old contents. So let's do this. With open so the menu here means write mode. I need to make it a comment. And I need an indentation here to make this part of this line of code. I'm just going to create 3 lines of text. You can have your own text here. We finish it by backslash and n. Let me have another line. This time, for example, we are learning about file handling. Another one. This is a practice file. So when I run it, what we expect is that after running this code, example.txt will contain exactly these 3 lines. Now let's open the same file and read its contents. This time we use the read mode. If the file doesn't exist, Python will give an error. And remember, we cannot write to the file in read mode. Let's see how we can do that. So R indicates read mode. So let's save the content of this file into a variable called content. We can just print it directly or save it in a variable content. So we expect that running this code will display the 3 lines we wrote earlier. So here's something important about Colab. Files like the one that we just created are stored in a temporary workspace. If you close or restart Colab, they disappear. So what if we want to save the file permanently? The answer is store it in a Google Drive. So for that, we'll mount Google Drive, then specify the path where we want to save it. That way, the file will remain in Drive, even if we restart Colab tomorrow. So in the first step, mount Google Drive, we need to have this line of code. The second step, we need to define the permanent save path. So let's define a path for that. In our Google Drive, and I have already created a folder called HelloPython. And in step 3, we need to save the file into Google Drive. Save into Google Drive. Again, W means write mode. So let me have another text here. For example, let's have the first line the same. For the second line, I would like to have something like this file is now permanent. And if I run this, what we expect in Google Drive, under the folder HelloPython, under the HelloPython folder, we will see example.txt. If we open it, it should contain 2 lines of text. And even if we restart Colab, the file will still be there. So at this point, I don't have anything. I don't have that example.txt file here. It may take a few seconds. You see that that file is just created, and we have that file here, and it is permanently stored in this HelloPython folder. To read it back, you can simply use the previous command. Let's this time print the content directly. Let's run it. Now that we understand file basics, let's work with a real dataset. We will use the NBA player stats from 1998 to 2025. This is a file from Kaggle. So go to Kaggle and search for, let's say, NBA player stats 1998 to 2025, and let's download it. Let's download the file. So you may want to create an account in order to be able to download the file. So after downloading the file, you can move the file into your HelloPython folder, basically, or any folder that you would like to call your file from it, and rename it so it has a shorter name like NBA, and let's save it there. Next, let's load the dataset into Colab using pandas. So first, we need to mount Google Drive. We have already done that, but let's do it. Mount Google Drive. Then we need to create a file path. So this file is saved in our HelloPython folder. So in our drive and my drive, HelloPython, I am looking for NBA CSV file, and let's load it with pandas. Load with pandas. Import pandas as PD data frame. So by doing so, we can read the file. So now let's print, for example, its shape. So by this file, we can do a wide variety of things like making some changes into it, modifying it, removing some of the contents, adding some other contents, so on and so forth. So one of the first and basic functions here is just reading the shape or printing the shape of the file, and this is gonna show us number of rows and columns. Then we can also print, or let's say use this command, head function. It's gonna show first 5 rows. So let me run this, and so basically you see that we already have access to the file that we just downloaded, and here we see the number of rows and columns. So, and we have access, so this line shows first 5 rows. We are going to talk about different things that we can do with this file later on, but for now we are just learning how to get access to a file using Google Colab. So let's recap what we learned today. There are different file modes in Python. The common ones, basically write mode, it creates or overwrites files. Read mode opens files for reading, and it should exist, it must exist. And append mode, it adds new text at the end of the file. And we also learned about how to write and read text files using open function and read statement. And basically we also learned how to use a real data set, organize it into Google Drive, rename it, and load it into Colab with pandas.